it's a shame that animals suffer, but also, I mean, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I'm not too empathetic towards animals. Obviously, I want them to suffer, and so like them being killed quickly is like a necessity. But killing them doesn't really bother me at all.
So I'm gonna ask you 5 would you rather questions,
Yep.
and midway you're gonna realize what the topic is, and maybe we can spark a bit of a conversation.
Right.
Okay. Would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Probably a cat.
Cat. Nice. Is it because you like cats more? Or?
No, I think they just have more freedom than dogs. Dogs
Yeah.
can't have traps in the house.
I agree with that. Yeah. Nice. Would you rather be able to talk to animals temporarily or temporarily take one of their enhanced senses or capabilities?
Probably talk to an animal.
Can I ask why?
It depends how long I'll get the capability for. Say if I could take an eagle's ability to fly for like a month, I'd probably do that. But if it was like a 5-minute thing, I'd probably rather have a chat with like an anaconda.
That actually makes a lot. That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have the intelligence of a pig or of a dog?
I thought about the same. Probably a pig, I think.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. So pigs are quite intelligent, right? Yeah. Nice. Okay. So the next question is going to be a hard one, and you probably realize what the topic is. Meanwhile, would you rather be a well-fed farm animal whose life is cut severely short whenever the farmer says you're not worthy, or a wild animal who's mostly starving, but you get to live free for as long as you want and as much as you can?
Probably a wild animal, I guess.
Is it because you value freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I value freedom also. And my final question is, if you had to choose between a farm animal in today's world, which one would you be? A cow for dairy, a cow for milk, a chicken, or a pig?
Maybe a pig. I mean, to be honest, I'd say really like.
Yeah, because they're all bad, right?
Yeah, all fairly bad.
Yeah, they're all fairly bad. So I think you kind of realize why I'm standing here. I'm trying to speak on behalf of the animals, trying to get people to see the perspective of animals. Would you say you consume animal products?
Yeah, I consume animal.
You consume animal products, and like, okay, maybe I'm trying to catch you out with this question, but you said you would talk to animals. What would you say to the animal that you would that would go into a slaughterhouse for your food?
To a slaughterhouse. I probably wouldn't mention they're going to a slaughterhouse. I'd probably try to keep him pretty happy.
Yeah.
But so I guess if I could talk to animals, I probably wouldn't want to talk to a pig which is living in a slaughterhouse.
Well, let me ask you: do you think we need to consume animal products to survive?
No. No, but I kind of think you're also killing a lot of animals or insects with just eating like vegan products. So it's more like, do you value a pig's life more than an insect's life? And if you just count it as a life for life, probably kill more farming than you do like actually farming bigger animals.
And I can tackle your concern right away. But the reason why I ask you if you think it's necessary or not, because it's not necessary. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's a choice, right? So the question then becomes: let's assume that way more animals die in the production of animal products anyway, right? So, and I'll explain why that is happening. But if you are faced with a choice between a product that kills way more animals and a product that kills way less animals, why would we choose the product that kills more animals?
I guess it's also like just your nutrition as well.
Yeah,
And
but
like,
let's say nutritionally they're the same.
Nutritionally, if they're exactly the same, I guess you've also got taste to contend with. And then, I mean, if like a vegan product tasted exactly the same and like killed less animals, you would use it over.
Yeah, well, okay, so let me first address your concern and then I'll tackle also the taste. So the concern is, farm animals, they also have to eat something, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the crops that are grown are mostly grown for farm animals, actually. So that means if you think that, let's say, animals, critters, rabbits, all sort of bugs are killed in the production of crops, if way more crops are made for the production of animals, obviously way more animals will die for the food of animals, plus the death of the animals themselves, right?
Yeah, true, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think personally, like, I wouldn't try and make an animal suffer, but it doesn't really affect me that much. I'm not too empathetic towards animals. Like, obviously, if you can avoid them suffering, I would.
Yeah.
But in terms of when it comes to the slaughterhouse, like it doesn't really affect me that much. So
Is it because you don't think they suffer, or why?
I know they suffer, but like I think it's just like kind of just nature. Really, it's like
Is it the species of the animal? Like if there were dogs, would you be okay with them going to the slaughterhouse for you?
it wouldn't make it. It wouldn't make any difference if there was like if dogs were in a slaughterhouse
Okay.
or if it's a pig.
Okay. So what if it were a human
If there's a human in a slaughterhouse,
for you?
I mean, it's a weird one. I mean, given the opportunity, say it would be really weird. I probably would try a human, but I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, obviously humans in the slaughterhouse is really messed up, but that's a human. I think they're different from animals.
Okay. I agree that they differ from animals, but what is the trait that differs from a human to an animal that says it's okay to kill one and not okay to kill the other?
I think it's more humans the same species as me.
Okay.
And so just because they're the same species, I wouldn't want to kill another human.
But say your friend right here, right? Like so we define species as a DNA, right?
Yeah.
And let's say we find out that her DNA is so different. She still looks like a human, but her DNA is so different that we cannot classify her as a human being, right? Would you be okay with? Well, let's say not her because she's your friend, right? But would you be okay with the people who are in the same DNA pool as her? Yeah. Would you be okay with them going to a slaughterhouse?
Well, so like a human, but someone who's quite different.
Well, right. If you, I suppose you believe in evolution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you think about it, there's always all of these steps. Animals evolve, and maybe just a part of the human beings. They lived off of an island. They evolved to be slightly different enough that we cannot classify them as human beings, but they still look like human beings. They still behave like human beings, but genetically they're not human beings. They couldn't reproduce with a human and make another human being, and that's why I'm saying.
Well, would I be opposed to?
Yeah, slaughtering them for your food. Yeah.
Well, if I don't know, if I could talk to them, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably say no. Depends what they tasted like.
Yeah. So,
I know what you're saying, but
so the reason why I'm saying this because species is kind of an arbitrary line to draw, right, in the sand. Is it because, as you can see, like if somebody is not the same species as you, that doesn't mean that they don't deserve moral consideration or that they shouldn't go into a slaughterhouse, right? So I can test your further morality further, right? Because you said that if you could speak to them, but there's human beings you cannot speak to, right? Either because they speak a different language or because they're mentally challenged and they can't properly speak. Would you be okay with them being slaughtered?
obviously not. Just because like they're still the same species. Like the DNA is still the same as mine,
Okay.
even if they do have like a disability.
Okay.
But they're still the same species.
So-
It's like a dog is in the same species as me, so I'd have no issues.
But what is it about the species that says it's okay to kill one and not the other? Because, like,
I think it's more just if it's the same species as me, it's not okay to kill them. Whereas if they're not the same species,
because you can reproduce with them. Because that's the only thing that species means, right? That you can reproduce with them,
yeah, I guess.
right? I don't know. I'm trying to test your theory right here, because if you ask me, there's no moral difference between an animal and a dog. And do you think you value your life just as much as your friend values her life?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And do you think you value your life just as much as any other animal values their life?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so does that?
I don't value a pig's life more than a friend's life.
Oh, and you shouldn't, and I completely agree with that, right? But the choice that you're given every day, 3 times per day, is not between to take the life of a pig and to take the life of your friend, but rather to take the life of a pig or not, right?
Yeah.
So, what would, let me ask you, what would incentivize you to make the choice that would be more moral or better for the environment, the animals, all of it?
Probably if it's a lot cheaper and it tastes a little better, as I don't think vegan products at the moment compete with the taste of meat.
Well, when you say vegan products, what are you talking about?
So, I mean, just like fake meat.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, I eat a lot of fake meat. My girlfriend's vegan, so most of my meals
Okay.
would.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, you're vegan. Nice.
But like personally, I'd still prefer the taste of meat.
But let me ask you, because the thing about fake meat, right, is
Yeah.
I don't know how much of them you tried, and there's several considerations to say here. Like, first of all, it's not just So what I wanted to ask you, what I wanted to say is that there's a lot of fake meats, right? You probably have tried a couple of them. And just like with the meat, normal meat, there's meat that tastes good and meat that tastes bad.
Yeah.
And there's the dishes that you make the meat with that taste good and the dishes that taste bad, right? So it doesn't mean that if you tried one or two that all of them taste bad. Plus, if you think about it, do you like pasta, rice, tofu, beans? Any of these, they're all vegan, right? And they're most of the things you find in a supermarket are vegan products. It's not necessarily for meat. So you don't necessarily have to eat for meat. I personally eat it once or twice per week, maybe 3 times, but I don't eat it that often because there's other things to eat.
It's probably how much you eat it, isn't it? Most of our meals are vegan.
Yeah, it's probably like maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just find like a carnivore diet just fills me up a lot better. Than
Like health-wise, you mean, or what?
it just health-wise, I think my body kind of feels a little better when I'm eating a lot of meat rather than a lot more vegan products.
But you do know, like a healthy diet is comprised mostly of plant-based foods.
I think that's up for debate, as there's a lot of people now which are getting into a carnivore-only diet. So they pretty much cut out all vegetables, all carbohydrates, just stick to red meat. And there's a lot of health benefits doing that. It's like, I mean, I'm not super read up on it, but
Well, I have read up on it, but I don't want to debate that with you because it's
think
not
that-
necessarily about health; it's about the animals, right? So,
yeah, I mean, morally, like, it's a shame that animals suffer, but also, I mean, it doesn't really affect me. Like, I'm not too empathetic towards animals. Obviously, I want them to suffer, and so like them being killed quickly is like a necessity. But killing them doesn't really bother me at all.
but why does it matter to you if you? Why would it matter if you kill them slowly or quickly? If you're not empathetic to them and you don't care,
Like,
it
there's
doesn't
nothing
matter.
to make them suffer unnecessarily.
Why does it matter if you don't care?
I mean, I guess I care a bit.
Okay, so you do care a
but
bit.
not like enough to not kill it. If you get me.
Okay, but so would you say, like, for example, if I kick a dog, would you care?
Yeah, that's like unnecessary. But if you,
But killing them is also unnecessary.
It's eating meat not necessarily.
oh yeah, I guess.
You can't survive on a vegan
None
diet.
of it is unnecessary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, technically none of it
Yeah.
is necessary.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So if you were in their shoes, what would you want?
I mean, if I was in their shoes, obviously I'd want to just be,
Yeah.
I don't know, become like a house pig or something, just trot around the house, getting fed all the time, getting stroked. But I mean,
Yeah, and the taste argument, because you also mentioned the taste. If would you say if baby meat, human baby meat, would taste good, would that justify killing human babies? Or if they were they were so nutritious, they taste so good, they're so nutritious that they're like, holy crap, you become a superhuman with them. Would it justify killing them?
if you become a superhuman, I'll be on the edge. If no one knew, if I could eat babies in secret, I'd probably eat a couple babies.
No, but let's say that the nutrition is great, though. Yeah, that's on the record.
You can crop that.
The Amsterdam baby eater.
This is good content, by the way. You're giving me really good content right here.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't eat babies no matter how nutritious, how tasty they are.
Yeah.
I might have a nibble just like maybe a thumb or something.
The reason why I pose this hypothetical is because do you think taste should justify killing an animal?
Yeah, I guess. Nah, not really. I mean, it's obviously like morally, yeah, we shouldn't, but does it really? I mean, I guess I'm just a bit immoral. Like, I don't hold myself to that high of a standard, and I'm okay with animals being killed
Okay.
as long as like they're not tortured beforehand.
Well, does it matter? Yeah, it's the same thing, right? We can, because as long as they get killed, and that's also what happens, by the way, in slaughterhouses, because you can find products that are biological or free range or whatever, and you can say, oh, these are good products. Animals have been treated well, and then the slaughterhouse workers will say, well, they've been killed humanely or whatever, because most of them say they're killed humanely, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all suffered and they're all mistreated by the people. Sure.
Exactly, because all of those people they have targets for numbers. They have animals they have to kill, and they always say like, "Oh, this animal is giving me a hard time. I'm going to kill them anyway. Might as well kick them. Might as well." It doesn't matter to them, right? Because the truth is that would you rather be kicked or would you rather be killed?
Yeah, I mean that's not really anything I can like that's more down to the slaughterhouses and how they're like managed.
Yeah.
It's not really. I can't really. I mean, I'm sure it's not really anything I can do apart from not eat meat to stop that. But
Okay.
I mean, yeah, just I don't eat loads of meat, but also I'm just not opposed. If I want a steak, I'm going to have a steak.
Yeah.
I won't feel bad about having a steak.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm aware that the animals probably
Because of the taste.
lives, but yeah, just the taste. It tastes nice. Though.
And taste is a sensory pleasure, right?
Yeah.
Would it be okay to kill an animal for a different type of sensory pleasure?
Depends what you mean. What just for fun, just shooting, going hunting.
For fun, for sex, I don't know. Does it matter? They're all pleasures, right?
I mean, for sex, that's pretty deranged.
It's deranged. If you're asking me, it's
you're getting
deranged to also kill somebody just because they taste good.
I mean, I think killing an animal to get yourself off is like next level immoral.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mind killing an animal to eat it, but someone killing an animal to get themselves off, it's a bit weird.
I mean, it is a bit weird.
I mean, if someone hunted an animal, they're having fun hunting it, and then they ate that animal afterwards, I don't think that's that bad. Like, so if you go out into the wild, shoot a deer, and then eat that deer, I think that's perfectly fine.
Well, why does it matter what happens to the animal afterwards? Because if I kill the animal, to them, it doesn't matter what I did use them for.
It's just a bit wasteful of their life if you don't eat the animal afterwards.
It's wasteful for them anyway, right? They lose their life anyway.
Yeah, I know, but not for you. I mean, I guess it's the animal dies, but you get to eat the animal.
Yeah, but do you think to them it matters?
What, to the animal?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not after it's dead. But obviously, the animal would want to keep on living. But
Okay, I think we've anyway gone off of tangents here.
I don't think.
I'm
I see what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
it makes a good point, but personally, like.
Well, the point that I'm making is that if you extrapolate any reason that you provided for eating meat, you slowly realize that the reasons are, and I'm not trying to be a dick here, but a bit selfish, right? Because they're always they're never a need for it. Like if it's a need for it, I understand it, right? But if it's not needed, then it's like to take the life of an animal. For you, it's like 5 minutes of pleasure. For them, it's like their whole life, and it's being taken away for them for. It's like, would you want your life being taken away so that somebody gets 5 minutes of pleasure?
I mean, obviously not.
Yeah. So I just want to get you to think from the perspective of animals. And seeing as you have a girlfriend that's vegan, it seems like it would be easy for you to go
I
vegan.
think I'm slowly changing. But
I mean, yeah, when we first started dating, you did eat a lot of meat, but now I think I do a lot of the cooking, so.
Okay. Yeah, turn in vegan.
Change, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and just keep in mind that taste doesn't mean that one lacks taste and one doesn't, right? It just means that they're different tastes, and it's just a taste difference. It's not one is better and one is not. It's just a difference.
I mean, I think it is one is better and one is not. Personally, for me, it's like taste obviously is just an opinion.
So if you compare a steak to pasta primavera, I don't know which one is better.
Depends what mood I'm in, really.
Okay, yeah. So you see, they're different. That's why I'm saying they're not necessarily one is better, one is not. Because it's the same with vegan food, right? Like vegan food is there is vegan food that supplements, that is trying to replicate the food that is with meat or with animal products. But most of the time, vegan food is just good old normal food, right? And it's different. And it's,
I also find that getting like enough protein into your diet, you'll struggle with vegan diet unless you're taking like supplements like protein powder and all of that. And I just don't think they really agree with the bowels. And so, say you're working out, if you're 80 kilos, you're going to eat 160 grams of protein. I think you'll really struggle to do that on a vegan diet.
But I think you struggle to do that also with a normal diet.
It's a lot easier though with meat. Unless you're smashing loads and loads of protein powders on a vegan diet, you will never get.
But then you would have to eat a lot of meat, right? And it wouldn't be healthy for you.
I don't think it's really true saying that eating lots of meat is unhealthy for you.
I mean, it's not my opinion. It's the opinion of doctors and a lot of institutions that have already established that more than 100 grams of meat per day is a lot.
I know, but there's also a lot of studies which are saying carnivore diet's way better for you.
There's no studies like that.
100% there are, mate.
Well,
there's a book called The Carnivore Diet.
But that's not a study.
I mean, just started it. It's written by a doctor.
That doesn't mean anything, though.
Too much, but Like I think it's a big myth that you need to go mad on the vegetables, and you can stay healthy just eating meat.
I mean, I will disagree with you there, but I don't want to end up in a I agree, I disagree thing. I think this one is something you should research also for your own health, because a lot of people who go on the carnivore diet themselves, they end up with high cholesterol, high blood pressure.
With high cholesterol, though, I think it's only really an issue if you're unhealthy as well. If you're like quite big and fat and you've got high cholesterol, you'll have heart problems. But if you keep your body fit, high cholesterol will help you fight off like.
Well, there was a
disease.
social media influencer who was fit and was on the carnivore diet and died because of high cholesterol.
I wanted to interrupt this video to correct myself because it's just one of those things that I heard in a video somewhere and I don't want to spew any misinformation. I have not found any carnivore influencer to die from their diet. However, their diet obviously increases cholesterol, and obviously high cholesterol is bad even for fit people.
Because high cholesterol.
Loads of steroids as well, though, I'd imagine.
No, she was a woman and she wasn't. So, and the high cholesterol diet, the high cholesterol is actually, there's a strong association between high cholesterol and heart disease. So this is established science for like tens of years. It's not something new.
Yeah, but I mean, well.
Yeah, but again, I don't wanna combat your own opinions on this or whatever. You need to do your own research on that. I did my own research on that, and I just think the reason why I'm standing here is to get perspective from the perspective of animals. And as you can see, if you wouldn't want to be in their shoes, right?
No, I mean obviously not. But
yeah,
it's just the way.
Yeah,
things have worked out. We're at the top of the food chain, and so.
Are we though on the top of the food chain? If I would put you in a cage with a lion, who would win?
I mean, yeah, if I was having a cage match with a lion or a gorilla, they would beat me. But if I knew I had to fight this lion on this day, I'd obviously prepare myself, and I would have something to kill the lion in the day.
But do you know what the food chain? What the purpose of the food chain is, by the way?
Nah, tell me.
So it's to explain how the energy flows in an ecosystem.
Yeah.
So the food chain that you're saying actually is contradicting your initial statement that more animals are killed for the production of vegan products, because in the food, if you consider the food chain, there's plants that have a certain source of energy. Then those animals eat those plants, they get the energy, but they get way less energy, obviously. And the animals or people who eat the animal themselves get also less energy out of it. So there is always this energy that flows, but the energy that's initially is way less than the energy that gets to the top of the food chain, as you put it.
Yeah, man. So it's it's a shame man was killed. It really doesn't bother me that much.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's nothing I can do about it if it doesn't bother you. I would say just try to keep from their perspective. You know, would you? Let me just ask you this: would you kill them if you could? If you had to?
What if I had to kill an animal?
Yeah.
If I had to kill an animal to eat, yeah, I'd kill that animal.
So if you were faced with the choice between a vegan meal and having to kill an animal, somebody puts a vegan meal or a knife in front of you, well, what would you choose?
What, so like a fully prepared vegan meal? Or
no, let's say the ingredients of a vegan meal and
or like a pig.
Or like a pig and a knife.
Well, it would take me a lot of time to prepare the pig, so I'd probably go for the vegan meal. But if it was like I'd go out one day, I'd shoot a deer, I'll prepare everything, leave it in my freezer, I'd have no issues with that.
Okay. Yeah, but shooting is such a disconnected also exercise, isn't it? Because you're looking through a rifle scope, I mean, you're not really...
If I had to strangle it with my bare hands...
Yeah, or use a knife or something.
Yeah,
where you really feel how the animal dies in your hand.
Personally, honestly, mate, I don't think it'd bother me too much. I've never done it, but it'd just be something like... Say like there was an apocalypse or something and I had to go and kill a deer.
Yeah, but that's not the case, right? In a survival situation, we would be... a lot of things could be justified to be done, right? That's not... this isn't a survival situation in any sorts. We can go to the supermarket and choose all sorts of vegan options.
Yeah.
Restaurants have all sorts. Yeah. But anyway, thank you for talking to me. I would say just keep an open mind for the animals more.
100%.
I mean, thank you for turning vegan. Yeah, it's all, you know, like... the thing is, if you think about evolution, because you said you believe in evolution, imagine how ridiculous it is that we evolved to a place where we are dominating the world, and these animals who were at the same time started to be in the world just as us, now they are mistreated by us, and not just that, we created a certain species from them, and we said you are deserving of the death, but they're just as sentient as all the other animals. They just deserve moral consideration just as everybody else, and just because they're not as intelligent as us, we get to do this to them just because, you know, like imagine if humans didn't evolve and another species evolved, or two species evolved at the same time, and we would you know, it's kind of a fucked up thing that we're doing to animals in that way.
Things are like a lion would eat you if it had the opportunity.
Say it again.
Lion would eat you if it had the opportunity.
Perhaps, but the lion doesn't have a moral, doesn't understand morality, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I talk to humans and not lions. I would love to talk to lions and tell them, listen, don't eat. Yeah. And also, I think like if you put the ingredients for a meal in front of a lion, and then you put the pig, they might actually go for the ingredients, because the tendency is to be lazy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's lovely chat.
Yeah, it was lovely chatting with you. What's your name?
George.
I forgot. George?
George, yeah.
George.